Hey everyone, thank you for clicking play. I hope this finds you well. I think we've all noticed that our country is on fire and there is just a lot of chaos going on, and I would say a profound feeling of a lack of control, right? So this leads me to want to, find ways to feel more in control. And so I think, what can I control? And well, of course, the answer is me. The things I want to focus on are Facebook and, of course, the news, whatever the hell that is anymore. As far as Facebook goes, I have like 4 really specific things to offer that I know that other people have thought of. This is not original, but it's funny how we'll be aware of things but not follow through until maybe we've heard someone else talk about it. So here we go. Facebook. How often do you get on it in a day? That's something to just notice and maybe track. It's amazing to me how habitual I was about getting into this app. I kind of broke myself of it 2-3 years ago. I really started monitoring myself and not letting myself be so habitual about getting into it. Okay, so once you maybe figure out how often do I get on it in a day, how long do I stay on it? And what I hear people say is, well, I just scroll. I don't really post. I just scroll. So it doesn't really affect me. It does. We are incredibly sensitive creatures. We might not act like it, but we are. And we are very permeable, kind of like our skin that absorbs everything. So do our minds, so do our hearts, so do our spirits. Everything your eyes fall on when you're scrolling through Facebook or anything, you are taking it in. You are absolutely taking it in. Just know that. You are storing that away somewhere. The second thing is, and it's funny, people have a reaction to this sometimes, I strongly, strongly recommend that you unfollow people who post things that make you nuts. Like the minute your eyes fall on what they're posting, you have a reaction. And I know what this is like. Okay, everybody knows what this is like. So you're minding your business and you're just scrolling away, and then boom, that person or one of those people that's always posting stuff that just triggers you, there it is. And you can feel like your stomach tighten up, and you're actually sometimes like your breathing can even be like, and your blood pressure goes up. Like, it's amazing depending on what the topic is, right? Because some things we're way more attached to than others. But I remember that feeling of letting it get to me actually physiologically. And you're like, what the hell? What kind of moron actually believes that? And then you go on that crazed Google thing, you just quickly go over to Google and you're going to find a quote or a story or a meme or whatever that's going to, really show them. It's going to beat whatever dumbass thing that they've posted. And then you're off. You're off and running. And for the next 5 hours or the next day, you are in a pissing contest with someone on Facebook. And to be clear, I think we all know that no one's feelings are actually changed on Facebook after an argument, a debate, no matter how articulate it might be or how violent and hateful it might be, no one's mind has changed. It does not happen because you pulled the right quote or, I made the perfect smart-ass remark. Just to be clear, no one's mind or heart is changed on Facebook. So you unfollow, which is it's my go-to during political seasons and elections and when really, really hot topics are going on and people are all worked up. And you're not blocking them and you're not unfriending them. You're unfollowing their feed and they don't know you're doing it. A couple of people I talked to in the past week had no idea you could do this. So you get into your friend list on Facebook and every name has a little drop-down menu, and you go ahead and push on that and you get to choose to block them, to unfriend them, to unfollow, and you want to unfollow. And then when the smoke clears, you go ahead and you start following them again. It has saved many a friendship for me. Then I would really recommend that you just move your Facebook app to your next screen, like get it off the home screen. Make it so that at least you have to swipe once in order to access it. And then, for sure, turn off the notifications. There is absolutely no reason why you have to be notified every time someone posts something, right? I mean, why would you need to know every time something's posted? Just quiet the noise. I'm telling you, it works. It is a little like detoxing, but you can do it. I got clean. It took a little while. There's this, like I said, there's a habit to it. But once you really decide that you want some more quiet and peace and some simplification in your life, it's pretty easy to choose peace over that noise. And you know, if there's someone you want to unfollow, but they're family or whatever, you can always just nip into their page a couple of times a week and see what's going on so you don't miss anything. I'm just saying, I know people who do this and it really works out for them. It's been kind of a lifesaver is what somebody told me. So that's Facebook. News is a whole other thing. Not to dwell on this too long. I don't think there is an honest news source right now. I don't think there hasn't been for a long time. It's again noise, and it's agenda-driven bullshit noise from what I've seen. And yes, if you know me, you know that I'm a little more liberal-minded, but I can be really centrist too. And so really when I hear extremes on both sides and they're all just off the rails, I lose interest. I really struggle with the way news is presented these days. There's always an agenda going on. There's always something being pushed. It's always really biased. So I really recommend to people, especially if you're really, really interested in this kind of thing, you know, there's people who are just they're news hounds. They really want to know everything. Take a breath, man, and step back. What do you really think you're getting to know? It's amazing how little actual information we get when we're listening to news, right? So be choosy, first of all, about what you're listening to, and then be choosy about how long. Again, just like Facebook, how long are you listening to it before it's just repetitive babble? I really, really recommend that you only listen to it like middle of the day. When you start the day with the kind of just really biased and hostile even news, you're starting your day with that, and then you go into work or you start dealing with your family with that buzzing in the back of your mind, and it's never settling or peaceful or reassuring. And then why listen to it right before bed? There's no reason to do that either. I mean, I know people who will listen to the news from 8 to 8, and they are not happy people. They are not calm people. They are not informed people. They're angry people. And they're really easily triggered by everything because they're so full of this very unbeneficial noise. So you can find things out in the world by doing very specific searches. I know I need to stay informed about COVID. I need to know I have a school-aged child. I need to know, what our stats are in our state, what the latest regs are, of course. So I go look that up very specifically, CDC or the state site. I absolutely want to keep, informed about what's basically a civil war we have going on right now. These are historical times. I don't want to check out of that, but I'm not going to have the news on all day listening to the constant, again, very unbeneficial noise going on between commentators. It serves no one. It's certainly not me, who just then gets more upset because of what's happening and things I can't fix. So it's not about checking out. I want to be clear about that. It's not about checking out. You vote. You sign the petitions. You go on the marches. You participate in the protests that are constructive. You absolutely, you have to know where you stand. But you don't have to go stand in the middle of the toxic soup, and take that all into yourself. It doesn't serve anyone. And then, of course, politics. There's very, very little really to know. It is what it is. I don't want to listen to either side go on about their stuff. It's all a lot of bullshit from what little I listen to. You got to know your issues, and you're going to know where you stand, and then you go vote, and then it'll be what it'll be. What I'm advocating for here is some self-care and self-love, because I'm telling you, and I'm not the only one who's saying this, when we heal ourselves, we will heal the collective. You need to be connected to yourself, and you need to feel your stuff and not be told what to feel. what's that saying? Mind your own patch. Yeah, and the healing begins at home, whatever you want to say. It's just important that we remember that that's where our locus of control is with us. And then we take that into the world. And hopefully we take constructive, helpful, loving, empathetic energies out into the world. All right, I will leave it there. Thank you if you've stayed this long. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of each other. And I will see you next time. Bye.